In this video I will share a leg on my route towards the city Breda. Never been there, and I will not tell you what my thoughts are the moment that I arrive in Breda, because that you will see within 1 or 2, perhaps even 4 videos from now. What I can share is the footage of today, because I will bring you from the Gouda locks, the Juliana locks in Gouda, towards a very, very, very special boat. And I believe, from what I know, it is the first boat ever built. And whilst talking about that, if you have a very, very strong belief system, then I must warn you about the last 10 minutes of this video. It can be offensive. But that is for later on. I suggest that we start by leaving the Juliana locks. So I release the lines and I would say, off we go. Low tide on the Hollandse IJssel. What a beautiful day. Have a look. Flat calm. Perhaps you have seen my video from the Hollandse IJssel before. I think the title is "Why Have All These Houses Boat Lifts?" And here is a guy who does not want to leave his boat anymore. Silly. The current runs a little bit. And then after that, when we are at the storm surge barrier around, let's say 12:30, then the current starts coming in. And we can benefit from that one. So, back to one engine. Often I get a comment or a question saying, why you have 2 engines, why do you use one? If we both run the engines on the same RPMs, the speed only increases with 25%, but the diesel burn is plus 100. Yeah, so I recently had a trip of approximately 2 days. I did not record that, and then I used both engines, and man, I had 300 liters gone in a second. That is not possible. I know, but it is a saying. So, yeah, I know for sure that the moment that it is possible, so not maneuvering and not doing docking or bridge work, then I will switch engines and run one engine at the same time. Speed over ground, 10 kilometers. We are on the inlands of Europe, so we use kilometers. Let's go to 1600 RPM, 30. I am happy this way. This house has covered its roof with solar panels. Yeah, nowadays in the Netherlands, I have no idea how it is in the rest of Europe or at your place, but in the Netherlands solar panels are very popular because of extra tax reduction, etc., etc. And perhaps one would say, well, it doesn't help, but it does. Since I am running my starboard engine, I only have one dynamo. I have forgotten the English word. And it runs on 12 volts. I also use it to tell me on my gauge what RPMs I run. And the port engine has a 12 and a 24 volts thing on the tip of my tongue. Well, anyhow. And it was on the load capacity was 24 volts when we started. And I just looked and it is 24.6 at the moment. And one would think, how is that possible? Because the engine is not running and this thing is not generating 24 volts, 28 and a little bit more. So how is it possible that the house bank, 24 house bank, is powering up? Solar panels on top of my flybridge. Yeah. That is cheap power. Well, one would almost ask the skipper, what is the name of your boat? Also, the name on Lady Lieselot on her butt is that size, but it fits the boat. Coffee time! And this time with a mergpijp cookie. Lovely, 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 lovely. It all comes together. We have rowers and we have a special barge with a lifting wheelhouse. Well, I think they use it for transporting containers most of the time. This river, Hollandse IJssel, is famous of that. And see the column. Yeah, of course, it is a huge weight it has to carry. Whilst sailing Lady Lieselot, I also do some editing work, of course. And now it is cookie time. The Cookie Monster said. Well, the speed at the moment, we all started at slack tide with 11 kilometers per hour, but at the moment, speed over ground 7.9. Wow. And that is because the current is coming in. So I think that I miscalculated with, let's say, 30 minutes. Because in front of me there is the storm surge barrier. I heard a sound and I thought, what's that? But it is the tractor that is driving over there, making a strange noise. And after what happened last summer, my ears are always alert the moment that I hear a strange sound. Anyhow, 7.9, crawling towards the crossing where we will benefit the current that is coming in. But for now, one would say if you left not on the time calculated but just 30 to 60 minutes earlier, then you would have gone smooth. That's life, that's boating. The Germans from yesterday, the white, red, black sailboat. Yeah, they have to wait for a lock opening. So, enough room. Yes. And the moment that you are not able to pass the storm surge barrier, then over here on starboard we have the locks. Tank boat Corina, filling up one of the barges. A friend of mine, he has a tanker barge, 135 meters, and I believe it is 10 meters wide, and or perhaps 15. I thought 15. And he told me that on a trip towards Germany they used 20 tons, 20,000 liters of diesel. But yeah, that is a professional one, and he uses red diesel, which is a lot cheaper. But there were moments, he told me, that they decided not to take a certain job to bring oil towards any spot, because the prices of diesel were that high that they were not able to make any profit out of that job. Can you imagine? So somebody says, will you please bring 300, 400, 500, 1,000 tons of oil towards a certain spot, and you make a calculation and you say, we have to run so many hours, we have to pay our crew, and we have to pay this, etc., etc. How much? Nothing. Or perhaps red digits, and you earn nothing. Yeah. The only thing that you will then say is, no, we will not do the job. He told me. Yeah. The boat behind us, called Wending, from what I see in my mirror, rear camera, it's a hotel boat. And we had contact via VHF, and I told him that I will go mountain up, I will upstream, and he said, well, then we will go the same course, so that is okay. Then we have no problems in crossing courses.
Lady Lieslot,
Wending, Lady Lieslot luistert.
Heeft u meegehoord van de post op kanaal 81?
Nee, dat is goed dat je dat doet, want ik heb één marifoon. Dus sector Maasbrugge, Lady Lieslot.
Lady Lieslot, sector Maasbrugge.
Ja, een hele goede morgen. Ik begreep dat ik al ben aangebeld door de buurman. So, we had some conversation about the sailing yacht over there. It is a Saturday, so I do not expect many boats, but you never know.
Goed zo, Patrick. Goedemiddag weer.
Wending is changing course already. I do not see any boats on the AIS.
Sector over. Goedemiddag. Opvaren van de werkhaven.
10 kilometers per hour. 10.5.
Sector Maasbrugge. Sector Maasbrugge over.
11.
Sector Maasbrugge over.
12.2. Yeah, I know I sound silly. I know. But yeah, I am happy that I made my calculation right, and that the overall speed is north. Ah, nice. Ah, on the rear camera you could see the rip of the police powering up. The port camera we will face backwards, and then we have the rear camera and the port camera facing backwards, so that we have a wider angle. 13 kilometers per hour. Yeah, look at this grown up on his boat. Doing silly dances. these vessels from Maling Augustea. I believe that these are docking vessels. They fill the vessel and then it sinks, and then the boat is able to drive into this area between these piles, these things, and then they pump out the water again and they can transport the boat. In Christianity, there is this story about God being angry on the people he created. The story is that he created in 7 days the whole earth and everything on it and around it. And then after a couple of years, I have no idea, a certain time, he thought, well, I have created this, but what a mess, what a mess, what a mess. I will destroy it all. And then they had a meeting in heaven. I guess that's heaven. They had a meeting and everybody said, well, God, but do you really think it is necessary to destroy everything? You did a good job in a lot of things. Is there no one you can find who is able to live longer and create a new society? Well, and it seems that there were many people already. So they found really one. It was Noah. And this guy, I believe it was via a dream, I don't know the story exactly. This guy he dreamt that this God told him to build a boat. And he had to build it this way, that large, that it could hold two of everything. At least a couple of people. From what I know from biology is that you at least need a man and a woman from every species. So he dreamt that he had to build a boat, an arch. And then when he was finished, it started raining for 40 days, the story tells us. Then the whole world was covered with rain. All the people died. All the animals died. And then there was Noah and his family, the good guys, and they survived. Why this long story within, well, the stories of Christianity? That is because there was a Dutch carpenter who decided to rebuild this arch boat. And over here, in Capelle aan den IJssel, of all places, there is this arch moored. And since it is so long ago, the giraffe that was living on that boat and was not willing to leave is still on top of that boat. So, and this was something of a storytelling about the history of a special boat. And since I am born and raised with this Christianity background, I must confess that if you are Hindu, I have no idea of the sagas and stories that they taught you. And if you are a Muslim, I must confess that I have no idea what sagas and stories they told you to, well, learn something about your God. Yeah, because imagine you are born on the spot where you are born and they taught you this religion. They talked about this religion. But if my crib would have been 3,000 kilometers more east, I would have heard different stories. Completely different stories. If I would have lived in the time of the Vikings in Norway and Sweden, and we walked along the beach and there all of a sudden there was this lightning, my father would have told me, this is the god called Thor, and Thor is angry, and that is what you see. Nowadays we just fly a satellite and we say, be aware, it will rain in a couple of hours, and it will also give you thunder. I rest my case. Perhaps it is not wise to talk about this political item, but yeah, why not? So if you disagree with me, please let me know in the comments. You are a fool! God will punish you! Perhaps. We will see. But yeah, the thing from the Vikings with Thor and its lightning, and nowadays it's just the satellite telling us that it will rain with lightning. It says enough. But okay. And then the end of the video always appears sooner than you think. I hope you liked it, and if you do, please let me know by hitting the thumbs up button. For now, thank you very much. Do I see you in the next video? Alright then, bye bye!